Hi, I wanted to show you today how to change the battery in an iPhone 6. And I've never done this before on any phone, so I searched on Amazon and eBay and finally ended up buying a kit on Amazon. It's from ScandiTech and it includes a new fresh battery, all the instructions, and all the tools you'll need to do this. The ScandiTech Kit has everything you need, and right on top are the instructions. It's a quick 9-step guide to replace your battery. And it shows you each step you need to make to take the old battery out and put the new battery in. And underneath those instructions are the tools and the supplies you need. The battery is held in the phone by adhesive strips on the back of it, and these are replacement strips, so we'll set those aside. This is called the broad pry tool. These are the metal tweezers. And this is the Pentalobe 5-star screwdriver that you need to actually get into the phone to start with. This is the plastic opening tool. This is the plastic spudger. This is a regular Phillips screwdriver. And finally, a suction cup. You need all those to properly do this job. So step 1, power your phone off. So we're first going to remove these 2 Pentalobe screws that are right by the charging port at the bottom of the phone. And that's the special screwdriver to do it with. And those are very tiny screw heads. This screwdriver is magnetized. There's the first one. And since these 2 Pentalobe screws are the same size and they just require a special screwdriver, I just kept them and their screwdriver together separately. Next, we're going to use this suction cup to raise the screen up so we can work on the insides. So you want to take the suction cup and place it just above where the home button is. Press it down. Make sure it has a good grip on the screen. And then we're going to hold down the base and lift up with the suction cup and hope that's all we need to get it apart. I'm going to hold on to the edges of the phone and then pull up on the suction cup. And that worked great on mine. All I needed was the suction cup to pull that up. But if that doesn't work, you might need to use the tweezers or the little pry tool, but never pry up at the top. Only pry on the sides and bottom when you're trying to get this front piece off, because this has some different cables and attachments up here that you don't want to mess with. So now you want to lift this up, but at no more than a 90-degree angle to the phone, because I said there are some attachments up here. There's some cables attached under here. So I'm going to keep holding this up with my other hand at a 90-degree angle. You could also prop it up against a book or something behind it. And then next, using the Phillips screwdriver, I'm going to remove these 2 screws right here. These cover the battery connection cable. And those screws are different sizes. Set them aside in such a way that you're able to put them back into the same hole they came out of. However you need to do it to keep that straight. And then you can remove that cover with your fingers or with the tweezers. So I'm going to use the tweezers. Now that we've got the cover off, we're going to remove the battery's connector from the motherboard using the black spudger tool. So we're going to gently do that. And I'm going to prop the back of the phone up against something else so I can have 2 hands to do this. There it goes. I've got that disconnected. Now, a more difficult part is getting the old battery out. One thing the website recommends is turning the phone over and heating up just this part of the phone. Not up here, not over here, but just this part of the phone where the adhesive strips, the old adhesive strips, are under the battery. That kind of loosens them up, makes it easier to pry this out of there. But you don't want to make it so hot that you can't touch it. Just get it pretty warm and that'll help. I'm going to set the hair dryer on low heat and just try to heat up this area here a little bit and hopefully loosen up the adhesive strips underneath the old battery. So I've done that, and you can start by trying to pry it up on this side, the left side of the battery. That's the only side you need to be working on. You shouldn't be touching this side. You might damage the motherboard or some other components over there. So we're going to try to leverage up just this side of the battery a little bit. Pry it up somewhat if we can. I'm not having any luck with the pry tool there. So this one's pretty firmly in there. So I may have to go for these adhesive strips. There's little black tabs here at the bottom of the battery, which are actually the ends of the adhesive strip. So you want to pull those up, and that'll expose the white ends of those adhesive strips. The original ones that are in there are white. Very strong adhesive on there. So now I've got those lifted up there. Using your fingers or your tweezers, get a hold of something there to pull. There's a piece of it. You don't want to tear it. You'd like it to all come out in one piece. You want to pull back very slowly, straight back if you can. It's trying to release that adhesive under there. It's very tight. This is where you need a little patience. Don't rush this part. Felt like it gave away right there. So one is off. It was pretty long by the time it all stretched out. So that was just one though. And all this time I've been holding up the back at that less than 90-degree angle. You can also disconnect the back and take it off, which can be a good idea too if you're not sure about being able to hold this up. But there's 5 screws up here that you take off, and then there's 4 cables that you disconnect. But that's all documented on the website that they give you in one of the videos if you want to attempt that. This has worked okay as long as you have something to prop it up or someone else to hold it up for you. I'm gonna try the last one. From what I read in the videos I watched, this is actually the trickiest part. If it would happen to snap and go back underneath the battery, there are other ways to do it. It would involve a lot of prying, possibly damaging this battery. But they say if you damage this battery while you're working on it, there's a possibility of fire, of the leakage from the battery, so we're trying not to do that. I think I got it. The battery feels very loose. The battery just about jumped out there, so I got it. There's the old battery. So good riddance. Get rid of that one. Now, preparing the new battery. I'm going to grab the new battery out of the box. It's in the very bottom of the box. The new battery goes in with this side up, this connector towards the right side of the phone. Instructions tell you how to prepare the adhesive. So we're going to flip this over because this is the side that the adhesive is going to go on. And here's the adhesive strips we're going to put on. It says start at the pointy end of the strips and remove the film that covers them. So that exposes the strips like that. Attach the adhesive to the back of the battery. Carefully place it over the back of the battery and attach. And it should latch on right away. Once it's on there, you can remove the rest of it. There we go. So now we're carefully going to place this battery back inside, and you're going to try to center it inside this area where the old one came out of. So we're going to put it right into there. Make sure it's kind of lined up with where the battery connector cable is. And push it down. And then you're going to push down and reconnect this cable solidly. You can hear it snap in there. That's all reconnected. So we just need to put our screws back in from the cover. And one of those screws is shorter than the other, so that's why you have to keep those separated. So I put that first screw on the end of my screwdriver, and I'm gonna put that back in. The other one on there, this is the longer screw. So I got those back in, and we're going to put it back together. And then we press the top end of the screen down into the grooves there. And I press from the top of the phone all the way down to the bottom and the end, and everything seems to be tight. And then put the pentalobe screws back in, and they're both the same size. So I've got it all back together, getting some power out of it, and you're back in business. Thanks to ScandiTech. That really wasn't that hard. And although all the basic instructions are in this brochure, it also refers you to the ScandiTech website, where there's more detailed instructions that you can read and also videos that you can watch. If I can do it, you can too.